Eric Barnfine with Forest River Class A diesel motorhomes. Today I'd like to focus on the Berkshire XLT product line and this Berkshire XLT 45E. Let's go ahead and jump into it. What makes an XLT an XLT? We're going to start with the platform that we're on. We're going to utilize the Freightliner XCR 450 platform. This platform is going to be for a 45-foot motorhome. It's going to feature the Freightliner Ultra Steer, so you will pick up that steerable tag in the rear. It's also going to have an independent front suspension. A couple other cool, unique features about this Freightliner platform is going to be new for this year. What you're going to find is this Road Watch box. What that Road Watch does is that's going to be that radar box that gives you that adaptive cruise control going down the interstate. It's also going to help just give you that additional safety features with that head-on collision warnings and everything, and it is tied into your brakes. Next, let's kind of jump down to the side of the coach, and let's really highlight this independent front suspension. So what's this independent front suspension going to give you that you're not going to find on coaches that do not have it? Well, if I'm traversing land, going from different grades from left to right, what it's going to do is it's going to take out all that play in the steering wheel. It's going to perform more like what you're used to on the automotive world, and it's really going to help absorb that road noise and road vibration as you're driving down the road. So it's going to give you the best possible ride quality you can find on a diesel motorhome. Then you couple that up with the air ride suspension system, and how Freightliner likes to do it is there's an airbag. Wherever you see a group of tires on any axle, there's going to be an airbag there. Now let's kind of walk down the side of the coach. What makes this an XLT? So number one, this 45-foot coach, you're going to find an abundance of pass-through storage. First and foremost, in the first bay on any XLT that you'll find, you're going to have that slide-out deep freezer. And what's nice about this, it's a 110 or 12 volt, basically refrigerator. So I can actually set the temperature to this. It's a great little ice chest to have in the basement. Great access when I'm going to the store and I just want to fill up with stuff and really maximize my time on the road with how much food I can bring. Next, I'll get a pass-through bay. Then finally, the big pass-through bay beyond that one, it's going to have a nice slide-out tray. Finally, I'll get another bay that's going to be like a half pass-through, and then I'm going to get my Chinook Oasis system for my hydronic heating right here. We like to utilize this Chinook Oasis system for hydronic heating because number one, it's going to make this coach an all-electric coach. And number two, what it's going to do is it's going to be the most fuel-efficient way to actually heat a coach at the end of the day. The nice thing about this system is that it's going to have actually some diagnostics on the front of it. And like I said, it's very, very fuel efficient. It's going to be a diesel heat system along with an electric heating element in there. I use the diesel to get at the temperature and the electric to maintain the temperature. One thing that I like to point out too before we go too far down the coach is going to be your outside entertainment system. What you're going to find here is going to be a nice 40-inch LED TV with a built-in JBL soundbar. It is going to be a smart TV, so watching movies, trying to enjoy the game on the outside of the coach just makes it that much more easier. Now let's kind of talk about the full body paint. What you're going to notice is that when we run our full body paint, our paint process is going to focus on BASF paint, which is an automotively graded paint, and you're also going to get 4 layers of clear coat in between. This paint job is going to have a full buff and skim in between the paint layers that you're going to find, so it's going to be nice and smooth on the side of the coach. Finally, we're back kind of here at the rear axle. Let's kind of explain what Ultra Steer is. So on a tag axle motorhome, when I'm going down the road and I'm doing those sharp turns, or if I'm at low speeds in a campground, what happens is that these two wheels being so close to each other makes it to where if I can have a passive steer here on the tag wheel, what it's going to do is it helps reduce my turning radius by reducing that tire scrub approach. Now, because this is a tag axle motorhome, also having more wheels on the ground is going to help this trek down the road that much smoother than with anything that's a non-tag axle motorhome. One other key feature I like to point out is that anytime you see us do a chrome handle on the outside of the coach here, that is going to be our power baggage door lock system, to where now I can actually just hit a button and lock all my baggage doors instead of having to individually do them key by key. Now we're at the rear of the coach. What makes this 450 platform special is going to be the motor that we utilize and then the positioning of actually the radiator. If we notice in the rear here, I have great access to the motor in my belts. This could be a Cummins 8.9 liter ISL. It's gonna be a 450 horsepower tune, but more importantly, 1,250 foot-pounds of torque. If we look down on the hitch here, I'm gonna feature a 15,000 pound tow capacity, and I'm also gonna find off the hitch that brake sync system from Freightliner, meaning if I'm gonna run like an Air Force One braking system on my tow vehicle, all the work to the coach is actually done in the airline connections just right here. Now, as we walk around to the driver's side of the coach here in the rear, what you're gonna find is that side radiator. And that side radiator is gonna be nice because when it gets kicked over to the side like this, I have better access to the rear motor of this coach. As we walk up right above that, I'm gonna have a remote fill for my 15-gallon DEF tank. Once again, we're right by the tag wheels. And the bay for our plumbing bay, this is something that we do uniquely different than the rest of our competition in the market. The water manifold system that we run is going to be a nice point-to-point connection, meaning all my hot lines are on one side, all my cold lines are on the other side. It's going to be direct plumbed to the device that it's going to from this point forward, and it's separated hot and cold. It's going to, number one, equalize my water temperature, but more importantly, equalize that water pressure. As we jump up to the next bay, what you're going to find is you're going to find that 50 amp power cord reel, and I'm also going to have my canister for my Dirt Devil central vac. All this will be the other side of your pass-through storage. This coach is going to feature roughly about 260 cubic feet of basement pass-through storage. And finally, my hydraulic manifold and my 6 house batteries. The last few things we'd like to point out on the driver's side of the coach is going to be, number one, the fuel tank. On this XLT 45-foot platform, what you're going to find is you're going to find a 150-gallon fuel tank with dual fills, so you'll have one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. Next, let's jump up to this driver's side window. If you notice, it's going to look different than what we normally do on our regular Berkshires or Berkshire XL product lines. That's because this is going to be a power driver's window. Finally, let's talk about our overhead mounted mirrors. If you notice, we're probably the only product line that consistently does an overhead mounted mirror. Why? We believe it gives you one less headbanger as you're walking around the coach, but it also helps increase that visibility. And if you notice, you're gonna have your camera built into your mirror. Now let's walk around to the inside of the coach. So now that we're inside the coach, I like to point out a couple features in the dash area. Now in any of these XLTs that we build, what you're gonna find is that we're gonna run these oversized cockpit chairs that have the integrated seat belts. The passenger chair is still gonna have that nice big workstation that actually does store if you're not using it, and that passenger console. Well, how we like to design our cockpits is trying to keep everything for the driver within reach, to where his eyes can actually be focused on the windshield and what's ahead of him as he's driving. Let me step out of the cockpit here. Every product that we build is going to feature a cab over bunk. It's going to be a 500-pound capacity. It's nice and quiet. You figure 2 kids, one good-sized adult on here. But it's a nice bed when I need it. If not, I just run it up and leave it up against the ceiling. Now let's talk about some of the things that make a Berkshire XLT on the interior here. What you're going to find is you got a heated porcelain tile floor throughout the whole coach. It is going to be a hand-laid porcelain tile, so it could be a lot more like a residential build. You're also, when we talk about our wood, whether it's our side-out faces or it's going to be your door fronts or your cabinet fronts, what you're going to find is it's actually real stained wood. It's going to be more of a hardwood. This interior is actually going to be our slate cabinetry with our shadow pearl interior. The shadow pearl on this interior with the slate wood actually gives you that great contrast. It's still kind of more of a modern look, but somewhat contemporary when you go. The best part about this 45E is it's going to be kind of that classic bath and a half floor plan with a nice little bonus area in the rear. When we get there, I'll show you that bonus area. Now that I'm out of the cockpit, I'm kind of in the living room area of the coach. And the way that this one's spec'd, I have the power theater seats right across from my love seat. And if you notice, the theater seats are right in front of the main TV of the living area. Now that TV is going to be built on a televator, meaning I don't lose that nice big window behind there if I want to pull more natural light inside the coach. Then we kind of transition to the kitchen dining area. What I like best about this 45E is the balance of the kitchen countertop space with this pull-out peninsula that I just pulled out. You know, you're still going to have the 30-inch over-the-range convection microwave. You got your induction cooktop. You're going to have a dishwasher. And finally, my kitchen sink. What's new on this kitchen sink for this year is you're going to get a cup washer and you're going to have your traditional faucet, but you'll also have an area here for if I'm rinsing dishes. I actually can rinse the dishes using the faucet that's actually built into the sink. So a little bit nice feature to have. Good amount of kitchen storage when I look at it. And if you notice, we still tuck a little fireplace here in the living area of this coach because that fireplace is gonna be good for like an electric heat option for people. Now let's talk about the dinette. Now this dinette for this floor plan, this is an option to do tables and chairs. We like to build them with the dinettes as the standard because with the dinettes, then I actually pick up a little bit of storage underneath here. So that storage is great for the air fryers, for the slow cookers, whatever you may need that space for. Next, let's go to the 23 cubic foot French door style fridge. If you notice, you do have a water canister that's actually built into the door that will fill up. So instead of having water off the door, it's actually just inside the fridge now. And then in the freezer here, I got the ice maker along with plenty of storage for cold storage. Finally, next to the fridge, I got my adjustable shelf pantry and a nice area for trash cans. Then across from the fridge, you're gonna get that half bath. Like I said, this is gonna be a bath and a half floor plan. The nice thing about having a half bath is that this is the bathroom I can easily access when I'm going down the road. If you notice off the side here, this is gonna be where your Dirt Devil hose could plug in or where your toe kicks at for that central vac for the coach. Finally, let's transition to the bedroom. A couple things that I'd like to say about the bedroom that we do on this XLT is number one, we're gonna start with this 72 by 80 inch motorized tilt-a-view bed. It is gonna be an RV style width bed, but it is going to be that full 80 inches long. And if you notice, when you have this tilt-a-view, what it does when the bed's up is it gives you a lot more floor space in your bedroom. So if I need to change or do anything, I have a lot more room to work with. Also, across from the bed, what you're going to find if we start low here is for the XL2 product line, we're going to feature a fireplace in the bedroom. So all your XLTs will actually have a fireplace in the living room and in the bedroom. And it's a great storage area behind the fireplace for shoes. And you'll also find your safe back there for any valuables you may have. Finally, you got the nice big bedroom TV. This bedroom TV is going to be a 40-inch TV. As I open it up, what you're going to find is I still got a bunch more hidden storage space here. Good sized wardrobe. Good little bank of drawers here. And let's not forget about the ceiling fan that we do overhead. Finally, as we make it back to the rear of the coach, this is kind of that bonus area that we were talking about. So right now it's being shown as a bunkhouse, but what a lot of people like to do with this floor plan, we build our bunkhouses so they convert to wardrobes for that extra storage space. If you just saw what I did was I just moved the top bunk up. I got the nice hanging rod up top here. And now I got a nice big wardrobe that's back behind my bedroom and actually right next to my stackable washer and dryer. So a lot of flexible area here at the rear, in the rear of this coach. Finally, as we walk into the main bath of the coach, what you're gonna find is you got the dual vanity sinks right here. It allows people to leave their stuff out on the counter space, gives you more counter space. You got the nice porcelain style macerator toilet. And then you got the nice big square shower back here with the shower miser system. Also, what you're gonna notice about the showers that we do in these products is that it's not gonna be a fiberglass tub surround, it's gonna be a solid surface shower with a flip down seat. As we walk back up through the coach, what I'd like to talk about is the HVAC system that we're running on these coaches. This will have three 15,000 BTU AC units. The front and the rear one will have a heat pump built into it. And then once again, this will have hydronic heating, not only for the main heating source of the coach in that cooler weather, but also to act as your on-demand water heater. Thanks for watching this video on this Berkshire XLT 45E. If you have any more questions, feel free to check us out on our website, www.forestserverinc.com/Berkshire XLT.